Alright, we're back. In what weird fucked up way do I die this time? Saved it. Thank God that's over. God, that was abysmally bad. Oh, terrible experience. Absolutely hated every second of it. But we're done. 21-27! How is this beginner tier? Okay, alright. So you're gonna have to pardon the plonked out house moving castle in the background. My sibling decided to play piano literally 10 seconds after I pressed record, which is just absolutely insane. Can you actually hear it? Hold on. Oh yeah, no, you definitely can. I needed to watch the mic levels. You definitely can hear it. That's awesome. That's really cool. So this is the turning point for me where I'm now starting to understand the KrmaL haters from a gameplay perspective. Visually, I love KrmaL's work, and this level's no exception. I think, especially considering when this was made, this is a really, really cool song representation. Like, just really genuinely cool. I love the, like, sun coming out, like, the rain and then the sun comes out at the last duel. Like, that's so clever, and I think where KrmaL sort of soars is conveying things within the limitations of the game, right? Because could he have made a sun out of objects and had it rotate? Sure, if he wanted to, he could have. But using a saw, it conveys it in a way that is so innately Geometry Dash specific. And I'm like, that's cool, right? That's the kind of stuff that's really interesting to me. So just like little details like that, right? Using the rainbow blocks in a way that I think is actually really creative and like... I mean, I think if someone did something like that last duel now, like using the rainbow blocks in an interesting way, it would be considered innovation. Like, it's really, really cool. Like, it is. Hats off. It's great stuff. Unfortunately, it just doesn't play well. And that's what I'm finding with a lot of KrmaL levels, is they're really cool. They just play like ass. At least I think they do. Everyone's gonna have their own take on that, but I think this is widely considered maybe one of the worst ones. The last duel is just non-functional, and from what I've heard from a few previous victors, it used to work, and then bug fix update after bug fix update has just kind of ruined it in a lot of ways. It's just non-functional. So what I'm gonna do real quick is I'm gonna get a copy of the level, and I'm gonna good job, Lycion, on getting your level rated. I'm going to walk through my process for this last... I mean, there's a lot I can talk about in this level, which I will quickly go over, actually. The beginning is basically free. This is basically free, basically free, basically free. This coin is rough. I was much better at it today than I was last night. But in, like, a part that's just, like, not hard, not hard, not hard, not hard, not hard, not hard, not hard. Like, it's so weird. Even not getting the coin. Like, this part's just difficult. Like, the late timings you need to do are crazy. And I thought about it some more, and I realized the late timings were probably easier on 60 because the way that the, like, extra orb frame works, it applies itself to the next frame, meaning you're farther past the orb when the orb happens, if that makes sense. So if you hit it on the last frame, it happens way later than on higher refresh rates. And I think with how the game now works, you can no longer get that super late timing. I don't know for sure. I would need to look into it. But I don't think you can get the crazy late 60 hertz timings that you used to be able to with orbs. This part's cool, whatever. This part's easy, this part's easy, this part's easy. This first ship's fine. I don't know what I did in the completion. I sometimes skip this orb. It pretty much comes down to vibe in the moment. If I want to do it. This is mostly fine. This blue orb sometimes I would hit and then just fall completely past this orb. Like, I would fall out here, basically. Which was pretty awesome. That happened like 2-3 times from 0. This green orb is rough because you have to hit it low, but if you hit it kind of low and early-ish, you're in there just fine. This part was whatever. This blue orb, again, control after a blue orb in a ship is tricky, but this was manageable. For this, I don't know if I did it in the completion, but I usually did. I did these in groups of 2, because if you buffer all the way up, depending on how you exit this, you can be really high and right on this one, right? And then you just keep getting, like, every orb, you see how the orbs are like, the orbs are evenly spaced. but when you jump off of them, you go a little bit farther than the orbs, right? So if you just take 5 evenly spaced orbs, I was sometimes just either completely missing this, or it was one of those things where, like, I hit this and then immediately, like, as I'm going up, have to hit this one, right? So I just took them in groups of 2, which worked way more consistently. I never actually saw this hitbox. It's so weird that this is just a blind timing. It just coded into the level, basically. Why is there a saw there? What is the point of this saw? Wait, what does this saw possibly do? You cannot still be mini here. Why? Okay, that just feels unnecessary. Maybe there's a reason for it, whatever. Yeah, taking the 2 orbs here just makes sense. Wow, that is some pulses. Free wave, free wave, free wave. The sync part, this I need to mention because KrmaL has never made a synced sync part ever. The way I did these first 4, these I was taking like a... If we're treating the beat as dun 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 dun, which you can treat it as dun dun or dun 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 dun, up to you. I was doing a quarter of a beat early, so were the clicks approximately like so dun 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 dun, right? Or it'd be dun 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 for this section was kind of how I was feeling it. A little bit earlier maybe, and this one I was taking a whole half beat early. This one right here is even earlier, so I was going dun 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 dun, and that pretty much worked for me. And then these are stupid. These two, what the, wait, why is, oh, they like get moved in? It seems unnecessary to me, but sure. These 2 were annoying. This one I had to treat like a third of a beat early, like dum dum ba-dum dum ba-dum ba-dum, right? And this one I had to treat like a fourth of a beat early, so boom boom ba-dum boom, which is super subtle, but these jumps are actually much tighter than the previous 4. This last one's tight, but it was pretty much right on the half beat early, so it worked for me. And then this is fine. This is easy town, easy peasy town, easy peasy squeezy town. The hardest timing in the whole world, easy town, easy peasy. This click sucks. This click is so... Why? Why is it here? It's so hard. It's so hard. It's so unnecessarily difficult compared to everything else in the whole level. The thing I kind of thought about when I was doing this click was just to basically be, like, there-ish when I clicked the orb, like, somewhere in this zone. And it worked decently well. I died here a good handful of times from 0, but, again, what can you do? It's just a brutally difficult timing. This part's mostly fine. This green orb is just control. You just need the control to get up in there. Luckily, the actual like gap part is angled upward, which is nice because you already have upward momentum, so you can kind of get away with just kind of maintaining it a little bit. This part's fine. It feels kind of awkward. You can, depending on how you do it, hit this blue orb, hit this portal, and go over this cube entirely, like over this orb entirely, like miss it. I found that if you buffer, that usually doesn't happen. I didn't do it enough to verify that it never happens, but it was fine if I just kind of buffered everything out of that portal. Free, 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 the hardest duel you've ever seen. Okay, and then here is this part. I'm gonna just like actually go into the level and show you how I did this part because it's ridiculous. The way I did this is, why did I just get a ding like something got rated? Okay, so here I'll walk you. Oh, do I have LDM on? I don't even know if the LDM is real. Okay, I'm gonna walk you through this. Oh, it is. Okay, good. So you jump. So this part's easy. You just, the first jump's just a rather tight timing, and then you pretty much just take that orb in the middle. Time this. I was previously buffering that. You just don't want to do that. Just time it. And then my strategy for this is boom, 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 boom. And like, it works every time. You just hit that, you hit this orb in the middle, and then just do like 2 really fast clicks in the 5, and it just lines up beautifully. This part's pretty straightforward. Orb. This portal, again, this is one of my critiques with falling up as in general, is every like orb into a portal into a straight fly, you have to adjust really awkwardly to actually get into the straight fly, because this was before, I'm not even going to fault KrmaL for this, because this, like, no one understood this. This was before people really understood innately how to make that sort of mechanic, that sort of thing work well and feel good. The trick to do it is to just move the portal up more, or like in this case it would be to move the portal up more, so that if I just keep holding, like here, if I turn on no clip, I'll just show you where I end up if I just kind of level out and start straight flying. You see how I'm in that spike? The trick is just to move the portal up more, right? But we didn't know that, so you have to lower it. And then the problem here that I was running into, right, is if I... Okay. You want to make sure... This is tricky. You want to make sure you jump off of the ground and then hit the orb with the cube. That was the only way I could get this to be consistent. Because you can do it where you do that, right? But then that means you have the potential to, as the top cube, like jump too early off of the slope and you can die to the side of this slope here. So what I did instead was that. Now the issue is this death, which is maybe the coolest death ever. You want to hit the... Oh, what is that death? That's a new one. So... Sometimes you die to that slope. And my leading theory right now is that if you just barely make it onto this slope... You can't see my cursor good. If you barely make it onto this slope down here, you get a higher launch, which you then hit your head on this for some reason. That's my leading... That's all I can come up with for why that could possibly happen. But yeah, so the strat is you want to hold before you hit this yellow orb so that you're jumping as the cube, right? And then that should be a buffer click. But like I say, sometimes you die there, so you want to hit that orb late. So that way, yeah. See how that cube is way better positioned now? You want to hit this orb a little late, but not too late, because you can go so late that the cube falling, you can see how close it is right now, actually. The cube falling by this slope can die to hitting its head on this slope. It happened to me in practice. So, or that's a new one. I just discovered that right now, live on recording. That's pretty awesome. So you just have to be very careful with it, and then you just hold, and you just kind of hope it works. This part, the only way I could get this to be consistent, I had to like early jump and then late jump on the green. So 1, 2, 3, 4. It was basically just 4 evenly spaced clicks at a certain point. 1, 2, 3, 4. And this is another thing where this was potentially ruined by 2.2 because jumping off of slopes is vastly different than it used to be. Right? I mean, look at the way that launches. That's so unnatural. It makes me think that this was changed in 2.2. Actually, I know it was changed in 2.2. It makes me think it was like a force block or something or other. But click, 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 click. Right? Boom, 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 boom. And then you're here. Oh, yeah, hold in. I have once died in this auto part from just falling out of it. I don't know why or how to avoid it. So I hope it doesn't happen to you, Smile. Here. So... 2 things I want to point out. The way you're supposed to do is just hold and then fly these guys through here. But as you can see... That's nuts with that spike right there, right? If you look at a video of this, like the Crazy's verification video, it's way more centered than this. Way more centered. It's beautifully centered. This is not at all. So you're gonna have to do one of 2 things. One, suck it up and deal and just get really used to it. The way I do is I just watch one of my ships basically go through it and just try to hug the spike with that ship. That's kind of my way to do it, right? That's the way you just pick one and what the fuck? Oh yeah, there's an invisible slope here, and I don't even understand why it's there, like, or what it's supposed to do. It makes no sense to me. What if I just don't click? That's not what it's supposed to do. That's not better. I don't know why that slope is there. It serves no purpose in my mind, but it's there, all right. Why is it there? What does that do? So then you have a few other options. Your other options are to take this slope slightly shorter. So I'm not going to click yet. I'm going to click now. And you see how now I'm lower than if I had taken the whole swing. You can do that and hope that you get a better lineup off of the slope. It's very delicate, though. It's very delicate. And it inherently makes this straight fly less consistent. It might be more possible on any given attempt, but it's not going to be the same every attempt. So you have to kind of play it by ear, which is a little tough in a dual ship. The other strat I found that works for I don't know what reason. Sometimes... And I can't even reproduce it. Oh, see, that was okay. I found that... No, is that any better? Is that actually better? Well, see, that was good. Yeah, see, so that's what you have to do. You have to do a tiny little bit of a let go right before the slope. Just to get a tiny bit less of a push with the upside down ship. And then it lines up a little better. It's still not good, but it's a little better. I just chose to brute force, take it as it gave it to me, and just hug the spike. Then for this next bit, this orb. So this orb, you want to have both your ships on it. You hit it and let go when you hit this portal. And then you just watch this guy, and just the upside down guy that hit the portal, you just control him through here. So like that, right? You can pretty much do whatever you want, and you're probably going to be fine, because the inputs you're doing here are keeping this ship above these spikes. The only thing that's important is that you get a good early-ish click on this, because if this bottom ship is too high on this slope, it doesn't get enough of a push, and it does die to these spikes in this rainbow. Let's see if I can get an example of that for you. Oh, see, I know how to do it now, so I'm in trouble. Okay, whatever. It's fine. I was trying to demonstrate how to not do it, but I can't not do it because I can't think about this duel. So then you go through here, right? Then you just hold, and then let go. The only problem is this timing can sometimes work for the mini wave and not work for the big wave. So you have to either really hug the spike right there with the mini wave to get the big wave past it, or you can do a little adjustment. If you let go early, you could do a tiny little like micro click adjustment to save yourself. It's not recommended, but you might need it. And then this is simple, just dual wave. And then this is the worst, dude. This is an awful transition. So what you're supposed to do here, right, is this, I think, right, what I just did there. And the way to get that to happen is to go up into this portal, but you want to go like there-ish. I think that's actually too late. No, that was good. That was good. So you want to go like there into this portal, right? And you can see where my waves hit, right? This puts you high enough that your top cube, as it comes back down, hits that orb, and this cube goes there. But if you go too high, let's see if I can do it, you die to that spike. Unavoidably die to that spike, right? But if you go too low, oh no, that was good. You don't hit the orb. So what you want to aim for, or at least what I did, is I aimed for that transition in, right? And then just everything from there is pretty straightforward. You go hold, 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 and then yeah, it's pretty straightforward. You just kind of buffer everything from there and it works out. But if you get a low one, you can save it like that. The visual for it is jump just after the orb on the bottom, and you can save it. It's finicky, it's not perfect, but that also works, and I think you could make a case that it's more consistent that way. I had learned to go up early, so I just sent that. But as I was messing around with it today, I found that this strat also works and is slightly more consistent. There's also, at any given time, you die to this green orb right here, because look at how close you get to the ground. Of course there's a chance you die to this green orb right here. It happened to me a few times in practice, and I don't know what was different about the attempts it happened on, so just hope it doesn't happen to you, Smile. And then the rest is that. But there you go. So there's my guide on how to do the falling up duel for those of you that are interested in potentially doing the falling up duel. Or or level that precedes it. Yeah, it's just, I don't know, it's just really, really unfortunate how not fun this level is. It's just unfortunate. It definitely comes from a time where wave was still something people were bad at, because the wave parts in this level are genuinely free compared to everything else. I mean, the wave parts could be in a hard demon today and no one would bat an eye. Medium even demon, and no one would really think twice about it. And everything else is just so clearly extreme worthy. I think this is crazy underrated. I think this is easily like green tier NLW, maybe yellow. It's ridiculous, dude. This is really tough. I only really beat this. I beat this for a few reasons. It was in the Sky Gauntlet, and I was like, yeah, I might as well do Falling Up for it, right? I had to do 2 more levels in that gauntlet. And I was like, I might as well do Falling Up as one of them. Why not? Why not? And also, this is one I've been wanting to do for a while, just for the sake of getting it over with, because that last duel is crazy. But I'm glad I have it done. Like I say, apologies for the piano. That could not have timed out worse. It was genuinely comedic. I was in the first cube on my first attempt, and I hear dum 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 dum. Oh, you could be fucking kidding me. But whatever. There's my long-winded explanation of falling up. It's not great. I wouldn't advise playing it. I hope that at some point the last duel is fixed in a way that actually makes it fun to play and not just possible. Oh, we're recording here now.